Okay, hello and welcome to the Old Classic Car channel, and it's the classic minivan and the mini pickup that is the subject of today's brochure review section. Now, this particular brochure I collected from Reed's, the local British Leyland garage, in the late 1970s, and I think this dates to about 1978, which was the year that the minivan and pickup became, or were renamed, the Mini 95. The minivan was introduced in 1960 and continued in production right the way through until 1983. And to be honest, unless you looked at the registration number and a few little details, very little changed on the first minivans compared to the final examples. The pressed metal radiator grille continued all the way through. Here it has a Leyland badge, but on the earlier ones there have been Austin or Morris badge here. And those built in the early mid-1960s had a roof vent, same as on the A35 vans. But other than that, and perhaps this door mirror, there are very few differences compared, when you compare the late vans to the early vans. These would have been glass on the earlier examples, but by then they were probably plastic in the good old BL tradition. So yes, this particular brochure covers both the van and the pickup, so let's have a quick look inside and just see what we can find. In all, about 521,494 minivans were produced in all, I believe, so it's quite good going. And whereas the Mini Cooper and the Cooper S, they had a huge following right from the beginning, really. It was a little while longer before the commercial versions really took off, but now there's such an interest in the commercial versions of the Mini, it's really hard to find anything, and even the worst wreck is a few £1,000s now. So here we have the Mini 95, the rear view of the minivan with its doors open. It shared the long wheelbase with the Mini Estate, and it actually predated the Mini Estate by a few months in 1960 when it was launched. Okay, let's see what it has to say about the Mini 95 van. Hard working and good looking, the minivan is one of the easiest answers to the difficult problem of today's rising transport costs. It works hard and it looks good. The compact 10-foot 10-inch bumper-to-bumper outside dimension houses a very competitive 500 weight, it's not a quarter of a ton, carrying capacity and an interior capacity of 46 cubic feet, which expands to 58 cubic feet if the passenger seat is not required. Driving a minivan is easy and a pleasure with its excellent manoeuvrability and parking, and for load protection a tilt cover is optionally available at extra cost. As the specifications clearly show, the minivan with its enviable track record is in a class of its own for reliability, economy and ease of servicing. And to back this up, there are nearly 1,900 Austin Morris service outlets throughout the country, all carrying the Unipart range of spares and accessories. The number of minivans currently in use proves without a doubt their popularity, and when considering comfort, safety, performance and above all cost effectiveness, you will realise the minivan is unbeatable value for money. And here we have a very nicely sign written T registration minivan outside Burberry's, down in London presumably, and there's a chap with his long flowing locks and turn-ups unloading or loading something in the back of it. And like I say, the early ones would have had a roof vent, but otherwise that scene could have been pretty much 1960s, 1970s or early 1980s. So let's carry on and see what we can find over here. So that was the minivan, the classic minivan. And over here we have the mini pickup. Now these are really sought after now. It's really hard work to find anything that's usable. And they run into many thousands of pounds now. So we've got the mini pickup. Now the pickup, whereas the van came along in 1960, the pickup was introduced in 1961 and continued like the van until 1983, and just over 58,000 were produced in all. And as with the van, all the vans and the pickups were on dry suspension. They never got converted to hydroelastic like the saloons did back in the 1960s. So all these are dry rubber suspension. So let's have a look, see what it says about the Mini 95 pickup. It's a pleasure to work with. If there is a more versatile vehicle than the minivan, it can only be the mini pickup. With its spacious 26 3/4 cubic feet of capacity, able to provide the answer to the transport problems of so many businesses, both large and small, throughout the country. In many ways this reminds me of the lesser spotted Austin A35 pickup, the built-in integral body, a bit like the utes that you used to see in Australia. So it's very similar to the A35 but just a little bit bigger and sold a lot better. The simple fold-down tailgate gives easy access to the ample load space, which, like the minivan, are workable 1 foot 5.5 inches from the ground. Also, the load space can be easily reached over the sides of the pickup, which are only 10 foot 10.75 inches high. The many advantages that apply to the minivan also apply to the mini pickup. The small but powerful engine can handle both heavy workloads and town traffic conditions with equal ease. And when hard at work behind the wheel, you can't fail to notice the excellent suspension and the effortless way with which the vehicle responds to your demands. When you consider running costs, ease of maintenance and overall performance, the mini pickup is sure to be the one for you. Up in town, down on the farm, or anywhere it's needed, the mini pickup makes your work that much easier. And we've got some gentlemen here doing a bit of tree management. Let's have a look over here then. So that was the mini pickup. And here we have the luxurious interior of another pickup. It's all very simple, wipe down, all painted surfaces, rubber floor mats and so on. The minivan mini pickup designed for you and your transport problems. Today's trend towards small compact vehicles makes very good sense, and nowhere is this more clear than when you consider the advantages of the minivan and the mini pickup. Together with their many other outstanding features, easy to read instrumentation, good visibility and powerful economy, all adds up to the sensible and obvious answer to so many of today's transport problems. Over here we have the specification, which I'll zoom in on too, so you can have a read of that if you want to know what engine and so on the options were for the van and pickup. We've got an 848cc. What does it say about that? SU single carburetor, blah blah blah. 33 brake horsepower at 5,000 RPM. So you won't be troubling too many Mini Coopers with that. Or optional at extra cost, you could have the 998cc version of the Transverse A series engine. No automatic option, of course. So we've got the pressed steel disc wheels, 145x10 radial ply tubeless tyres, 12 volt electrics and so on. So I'll zoom in on that so you can have a closer look. But that undated brochure, which I think is 1978 or 79, is for the classic mini van and pickup. And on the rear cover we've got details of the super cover that you could take out. Super cover applies to every new vehicle detailed in this brochure. All you have to do is complete the supplied registration card and post it to reach us within 30 days. It's one of the most comprehensive service schemes ever offered in the United Kingdom by any motor vehicle manufacturer. So there we go, Mini from Austin Morris with super cover. And nowhere in this brochure does it actually mention British Leyland. It's all Mini brand and so on, Mini 95, blah blah blah, but no mention of British Leyland. So perhaps by this point British Leyland had earned its reputation for not producing the best cars possible. So maybe they were just trying to edge away from the association with the BL name. I don't know. Perhaps someone who remembers BL better from the day could comment on that. So yes, this was the brochure for the classic minivan and the mini pickup, the Mini 95. So I hope that was of interest. Please comment if you've got one of these minivans or pickups. It'd be great to hear from you, or if you remember them back in the day, or if you sold them new from British Leyland garages. It'd be interesting to read your comments. If you've got any specific requests for brochure reviews, please let me know in the comments. And if you'd like to keep up with future uploads, please like this video and subscribe to the Old Classic Car channel. I hope that was of interest, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.